Right now, explosion reaction following the devastating moment that damaged several homes in Oregon. And prosecutor shortage, how the state plans on fixing this impactful issue.
And some of you are starting off warmer than yesterday, while others are a little bit cooler up to the north. But everyone will start warming up again today. I'll break down how warm we'll get today and how long it'll last.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on Weekend Mornings. I'm Shane Hogan. This is Greg Barnhart. Greg, it's been a nice, easy, comfortable weekend so far. I wore my coat into work this morning. Could have left it in the car.
Yeah, you left, it got cold, you came back, you got warm. So
hey, that's fine with me. I'm enjoying it, right?
Yeah, well, some are actually warm. Looking up, it's warmer today, but there is a little bit of a boundary, and it's a wind shift. And you can see up north of La Crosse, it's cooler. Down to the south here, we're a little bit warmer, so that's a difference of it. It really won't make much of a difference as we get towards later in the day because everyone's going to warm up into the 70s here. And right now, there you go, 30 up degrees, 32 at Camp Douglas, but all the way down, you get down to the 55 at Janesville. So there is that difference right there. It's mainly due to wind shift, but everyone's going to get into the 70s and near 80 today. So once we do that, once the sun comes out, the winds will turn back around for everyone to the south. That's today. That was yesterday. We're going to get right back up to where we were, well above average. 53 right now. South wind at 9 right now of Madison. Temperature should steadily climb up along with the winds getting up to about 75 this afternoon. Winds 10 to 20 miles per hour to the south, so we'll be kind of breezy. La Crosse, like I said, that wind had turned, so that's why they dripped down to 38 degrees this morning. They will climb fairly quickly. It's a dry air mass, so it will warm up to the mid to upper 70s quite quickly. That's the system right there. You can see the winds are going to start to turn. Clouds and precipitation will be well to the north. That won't be a factor for us. The system out west is what we're watching. That's digging into the west. It'll deepen, become stronger. That's snow and rain out there. That'll eventually get here, but it will take time. I'll break down when we'll actually see those rain chances a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. We'll check back in just a little bit.
You just look at an explosion field and you're looking at sheets of plywood, you're looking at shingles, you're looking at all of the components that go through a house.
This video behind me showing all that is left after a massive explosion in the village of Oregon yesterday. A duplex that was under construction destroyed, and several surrounding buildings were also damaged. The good news, no one was injured in this blast. The fire chief says crews responded to the scene on Oregon Parks Avenue around 8:30 Friday morning. Additional help from surrounding communities was also called in a short time later after issuing a box alarm. Now imagine sitting in your house or walking your dog and feeling the ground shake beneath your feet. That's what residents in and around Oregon went through as they dealt with their own damage from the explosion and checking to see that their neighbors were okay. Arman Rahman has the latest reaction.
We were just starting to serve breakfast, and then we heard like a really loud boom, and we also felt it.
The blast immediately put Brody Descashel and the rest of the Beehive Memory Care Homes of Oregon on high alert.
It sounded like something like a dresser or something fell over in one of our residents' rooms, so we were checking to make sure everyone's okay.
Like the rest of the city, he went outside to discover the home on the 800 block of Oregon Parks exploded.
I was in my bathroom, and I first felt like a rumble, not like an earthquake shake, but more of the house kind of shifting. So went out front and saw just insulation everywhere and some damage in front of my house.
The shockwaves reached all the way to Jess Barr's doorstep.
When I left my house, I saw that there was fiberglass insulation on the stoop and there was some damage to it, and it just seemed so odd because the explosion was about a block away.
When she checked her doorbell camera footage, she saw what left her light in pieces.
And so I saw that it just like exploded, and then all this smoke comes from further back. It was a very surprising way to wake up on a Friday morning.
Like the rest of the quiet community, their thoughts immediately went to making sure their neighbors were all safe.
We're all just surprised and hopeful that no one was injured in it, and it looked like it was a pretty big area impacted, so we're just concerned.
A GoFundMe has been set up online with the goal of raising $50,000 for the family that lived in the exploded house. We do have more extensive coverage of the explosion on our website. You can hear from more neighbors and witnesses, as well as emergency responders on the scene. Just head over to channel3000.com or download our free news app. And now to developing news this morning. A 35-year-old man who police say is a person of interest in a shooting that killed a 5-year-old in Green Bay earlier this week was arrested in Beloit. Officers arrested the man around 4 p.m. Friday afternoon near the area of East Grand Avenue and Prospect Avenue. Police in Green Bay say he is believed to be connected to the shooting that killed Sky Blue Evans Cowley on Monday. To news around the state now, a devastating apartment fire in Hartland, Wisconsin Friday. That's in Waukesha County. It's now an active criminal investigation. 6 people were killed there yesterday morning. First responders, including 15 fire departments and 9 police departments, responded to the 4-family apartment building and began rescuing people from the balconies. The trial of Darrell Brooks continued Friday, with Brooks getting into another heated argument with Judge Darrell. This time it was over letters allegedly written by Brooks' ex-girlfriend. Brooks wanted to introduce them as evidence despite not actually having them, but Judge Darrell wanted proof they were actually written by his ex-girlfriend.
I'm trying to figure out why you believe they're from her, not all this other stuff about I'm in jail and I have a child. I'm trying to I need to know. It's called an offer of proof.
Are you serious?
What do you believe? Why do you believe they're from her? I am serious. And
because they're from her.
But you're assuming.
Like how else am I supposed to answer that?
Judge Darrell eventually ruled that the letters would not be allowed. Brooks faces 76 charges, including 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide for killing 6 people and injuring dozens more in the Waukesha parade attack. People looking to vote early can do so starting Tuesday, October 25th, when in-person absentee voting begins in Madison. Voters will need to bring an acceptable form of ID in order to vote with an in-person absentee ballot. Any voters who need to register for the first time or update their registration will also need a proof of residence document as well. On the campaign trail, one of the candidates running for governor calls himself an outsider, and that goes along with the series of shakeups that Tim Michels wants to see happen at state agencies. We've heard Michels all along during the campaign tout his record as a business owner, and now he wants to bring that record to the state capitol, taking a hard look at state agencies the way he does for divisions of his construction business. He told News 3 Now this week that looks like splitting up the Department of Natural Resources into 2 different agencies. But we wanted to know what that would look like for the rest of the state's government, and we asked him why it was so important to look at those changes.
So I'm going to review all the government agencies, the DNR, the Department of DOA, corrections, every single one of them. And I will be confident, and I hope the people of Wisconsin will be confident when I'm done, that their tax dollars are being used wisely and frugally and effectively, and that state government is running as efficiently as it possibly can.
Michels has been framing the work of state agencies in a business sense. He calls the people and businesses of Wisconsin customers and says he wants to look at how the government can best serve those customers. You can see political reporter Will Keneally's full sit-down with Tim Michels this Sunday on For the Record that airs after Face the Nation. Wisconsin prosecutors say they're having a hard time reducing a backlog of court cases. News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke to the Wisconsin Attorney General, who says Wisconsin's criminal justice system needs more resources.
When the pandemic started, court hearings were delayed, leading to a backlog of many court cases. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul says unless there is additional funding, this problem will continue. It's been said the wheels of justice turn slowly. The pandemic nearly brought it to a stop.
We don't get to shut our door and say we're not taking any more business.
La Crosse County District Attorney Tim Grinke knows that all too well.
Didn't explain the blood on the blue jeans.
While the doors of the DA's office remained open, statewide it faced a staffing shortage.
We lost a lot of people. We lost a lot of experience.
Wisconsin's Attorney General Josh Kaul says there's fewer prosecutors because of a lack of funding.
Crimes out there that need to be prosecuted doesn't change because you have fewer DAs.
In 2019, Governor Tony Evers announced the creation of 65 prosecutor positions across the state.
Making sure they have the resources they need to effectively prosecute cases is critical.
AG Call says while some steps have been taken to increase positions, it's not enough.
We need to invest in our criminal justice system. Our criminal justice system in Wisconsin has been underfunded for decades.
DA Grinke says when there aren't enough prosecutors, it can lead to mistakes.
You only have a certain number of things you can do. And obviously, the more work you have and less people you have, something's got to give.
Grinke says because of a staffing shortage, some cases may take longer to get to trial. And victims and their families pay the price, waiting for a resolution. Now, the DA's office isn't the only office facing a staffing shortage. In August, a lawsuit was filed against the state of Wisconsin for violating the constitutional rights of criminal defendants. Many of them have been waiting for months for their case to be heard. Reporting in La Crosse, Louise Gerard, News 8 Now.
And earlier this year, Governor Evers announced he was spending $5.7 million of American Rescue Plan Act funds to fill vacant state prosecutor positions. Wisconsin's unemployment rate is below the national average. That's according to White House data released Friday. Wisconsin's rate is 3.2%. The national average is at 3.5%. In a one-on-one interview with News 8 Now, one of President Biden's economic advisors say Wisconsin's economy is strong.
Wisconsin is a good example of that, where we have an unemployment rate of close to 3% in the state. A lot of people work. That means they're drawing paychecks, and it also is good news for deficit reduction. So we're glad to see that.
Bernstein also touted the president's work to just decrease the deficit by a record $1.4 trillion. Well, still ahead this morning, it's homecoming for the Badgers. We've got a look at the festivities coming up this weekend, and you're taking a live look outside at the Capitol. Greg is back with the full forecast after this.
Open a certificate or money market account at Summit Credit Union today.
The price of gold is at a 7-year high. Get top cash on the spot for your gold at Diamond Select. Cash in today while the price of gold is high. Don't miss out. Get instant cash for your gold today at Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
He made $57 million from a family business whose growth was directly linked to China. His dad worked the third shift in an auto plant. Johnson pushed tax breaks benefiting himself and his millionaire donors. Barnes will cut taxes for the middle class. Johnson would let states ban nearly all abortions. Barnes will protect our rights. Ron Johnson's extreme and out for himself. Mandela Barnes works for us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine when you purchase. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $2,500 loyalty cash. And now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
Hey, are we gonna fit? There we go.
At American Family Insurance, we're here to carefully protect your dreams.
All right, open your eyes.
Welcome home.
All right, we'll see you later.
Save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance today. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance. When I heard from my doctor, it was my worst nightmare. My baby's diagnosis was dismal, a severe abnormality, and my husband and I decided to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Tim Michaels thinks that decision should have been his, not ours. He wants to criminalize abortion. And if he's elected, women will lose the freedom to decide what's best for them. Tim Michaels is just way too radical for Wisconsin.
At Diamond Select, our on-site goldsmith can create a beautiful one-of-a-kind piece. Whether it's repurposing an old ring or creating from a picture online, we're here to help you create jewelry of your dreams. Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, with all the homecoming activities, it's also probably the best time to actually see the leaves, probably for one last time, because most of the area is peaking, and then obviously with the winds, they'll probably lose most of that. So northern part of the state's peaked and really kind of faded away. Southern areas are really starting to peak too, so definitely probably the last weekend to get out and see that before we just have to wait till next year. Overall, the pattern has changed. We used to be in the northwest flow for last weekend into early this week. Now with that system digging into the west, it's turned that flow up to southwest. That allows warmer temperatures, warmer air, drier air to be pushed north. That's what we're going to see through Sunday as that system takes its time to push east. Eventually it will pass through, but it more lifts north, so we're not going to really see the bulk of that cold air that stays up to the north, but we will cool back down and get more kind of in a westerly flow, as you can see those arrows coming across, which is basically looking for temperatures pretty much close to average through the week of next week coming in the work week. So, but in the meantime, we're going to have southerly winds continue through the next 24 to 36 hours. That's going to keep your temperatures up to the 70s. Overnight, we might not drop much down into the 60s just because of the temperature, the winds. And then overall tomorrow, we're going to start picking up some moisture, but it's going to take its time. The winds will keep picking up as that system out west begins to approach by Monday. Sunday night is about the first chance we see that wave come across with some showers and thunderstorms. Not a lot of coverage in that. The front stays to the west. Then we see another wave develop. That one looks more impressive. That's more of a Monday, late Monday afternoon to Monday night. That's something that we'll watch. That will come across more Monday night to Tuesday. That's probably the best chance right now for widespread rainfall. So we'll keep an eye as we get closer on that. Overall, temperatures upper 70s to near 80s today. Southerly winds will increase, so it'll be another warm day for the end of October. We're getting close to the end of October. Tonight, our temperatures will not fall off much with the winds. Lower 60s, so that's pretty unusual. Maybe some upper 50s, but it will be quite a warm night. And then tomorrow, the winds really will start increasing more as that system begins to push east. We're going to see winds start to pick up well above 20 for many of the areas. Speaking of winds, that's going to be the story tomorrow. Something to keep an eye of, especially west of the areas, Iowa, Minnesota, 30 gusting to 40 maybe. So it definitely will be a windy day to speak of. Thunderstorm action, we're going to see some of that further west, but shouldn't be any severe weather over us. Look at the 10-day right now. We're looking at 70s, then 50s. Halloween actually looks not bad right now for Madison. Same story goes for La Crosse too. Rain chances may not be as much up there because they may be in the backside. So it'll be okay next week, upper 50s, and a dry, once again, Halloween, hopefully, and the weekend there.
I think everyone's looking at Halloween. I can remember a lot of Halloweens from the childhood, just rain or sleet, snow, even
it's
snow
usually
sometimes.
A cold rain in the 30s, and it's
56,
miserable. So
that sounds nice and comfortable, right?
So yeah, I'd definitely take that for Halloween.
All right, well, good luck to all the trick-or-treaters this year. All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, moving on now to Fill the Hill. Today marks homecoming for UW-Madison, and there was a sea of pink for the annual UW Fill the Hill campaign, raising more than $421,000 for the university this year. This is the 10th year of the tradition that actually started as a prank back in the 70s. Well, the festivities continued Friday night with the beloved Homecoming Parade. Marks the start of homecoming weekend. The parade featured bands, floats, Bucky, of course, and more, meaning there was something for everyone to enjoy, including fans who traveled from far away to get back home to UW-Madison.
I'm from Madison originally, live in Boston now. Went here, got a degree in education, met my husband. We were both in the marching band. I was in the second year. They allowed women, 1976, and we're the first married couple from the band. It's really exciting to see all these people and to hear the band come down and, you know, watch the tubas. We were singing along when we saw the tubas march back there.
How cool is that? Well, the Bucky Trail Photo Challenge also runs today, so whether you're on campus or at home, you can use a UW virtual homecoming photo booth and post your pictures on social media using the hashtag UWHC. For more information on all things Wisconsin homecoming, just visit uwalumni.com/homecoming. And then, of course, homecoming week will wrap up when the Badgers take on Purdue at Camp Randall. That's later today. Kickoff for that one is at 2:30 this afternoon. Greg's saying the weather will be nice for that. So if you're going, enjoy the game. To more local news this morning, the city of Madison honoring the legacy of a public servant and community leader. What was once known as Kerr-McGee Triangle Park is now Richard Wagner Park. Wagner was Dane County's first openly gay county board member and was a founding member of the National Association and Conference of Gay and Lesbian Public Officials. He passed away last year. The International Owl Center is hosting an online fundraiser this weekend. The Houston, Minnesota nonprofit is auctioning off 49 pieces of owl art made by kids from all over the world. Most of the proceeds will go towards building the nonprofit's future facility. The center's executive director says a portion will go toward their sister center in Nepal, where she says owl protection efforts are desperately needed.
They have issues with illegal hunting, illegal trade in owls. People still eat them or kill them for sport. So owl education there is extremely important. So we're trying to help support that.
The auction link goes live this morning and closes tomorrow night at 8. You can find the link to the auction on our colleagues' website, news8000.com. Well, still ahead this morning, new recommendations on the latest COVID booster. And there are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Will Loper shares his picks in 3 things to watch.
It's the Hy-Vee Red Hot Weekend 99-cent sale this Friday through Sunday. 8-ounce pork chops, only 99 cents. Hy-Vee peanut butter, only 99 cents. And Ragu, only 99 cents. Scan the code, get deals, only at Hy-Vee.
Defund the Police radical Mandela Barnes isn't just dangerously wrong on crime. Barnes supported raising Wisconsin's gas tax nearly 30%, while we already pay some of the highest gas taxes in the country. Barnes wants to stop all oil and gas production in America, killing jobs and making prices skyrocket. And while Barnes didn't pay his own taxes, he pushed a $1 billion tax increase on Wisconsin families. We can't afford radical Mandela Barnes. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's dangerous up here, and it's no fun shopping around for a reputable contractor.
I've built my company on the promise to treat our customers like we would our own family. That means an honest, no-pressure sales experience, expert craftsmanship, and a lifetime guarantee of our work.
We know Gutter Shutter is the best system for you and your home, and we'd love to show you how it can keep you safe and off that ladder forever. So call us or visit us online to set up your free estimate, and we can show you what Gutter Shutter and the Larson Home Experience is all about.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know it needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland, as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it,
Wisconsin cheese. But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love. Welcome to Delicious. Nice.
It was Halloween. My daughter stopped at 3 homes, her girlfriend's house, her teacher's house, and the man that murdered her. He molested her and he put her in a garbage bag. He was going to be released in 2018. Josh called. He was not there for me at all. You want some help to find out what's going on, and he doesn't help. He don't care about the victims. I know Eric Toney does. Eric Toney helped keep that man that murdered my daughter from being released. Eric Toney's always been there for me, and that's the kind of attorney general we need.
It's the Hy-Vee Red Hot Weekend 99-cent sale this Friday through Sunday. Mars fun-size candy, only 99 cents. Avocados, 2 for only 99 cents. And Hy-Vee instant oatmeal, only 99 cents. Scan the code, get deals, only at Hy-Vee.
Looking at another warm day on tap as you look at La Crosse, probably is going to get up into the upper 80s under sunshine. Winds will start picking up, but overall another warm day. The same story goes for Madison too. We'll get up into the upper 70s. Once again, it's about 20 degrees above average. Not record, but pretty high. South winds will be once again 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's what we're looking for the rest of the region. Upper 70s near 80 will be a possible. This should be mild. Temperatures should last through Monday. The winds will actually pick up tomorrow, even stronger. Then we're looking at Sunday night, Monday night, some storm chances. Better chance comes really Monday night into Tuesday for the whole area, and maybe another round Tuesday night to Wednesday, but that would be more for South Central Wisconsin.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Those high temperatures, 20 degrees above average. That's crazy. While there's clearly no shortage of films and shows streaming nowadays, our Will Loper sharing a few of the best in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
3, 2, 1.
Newly streaming on HBO Max is the film The Fastest Woman on Earth.
From day one, Jessie has been a goal setter.
She's always been pretty fearless. When she was comfortable, she was very confident. But she lives in this world, which is male-dominated.
The documentary follows the journey of the late professional driver Jessie Combs as she attempts to break the woman's land speed record.
I can't have a family and try and break a world land speed record. But it's what I was born for.
We're no longer testing. We're running for records.
The Fastest Woman on Earth is streaming on HBO Max now.
Just lay back, close your eyes. Count back from 10.
Newly streaming on Amazon Prime Video is the series The Peripheral.
It was like being there, in your body.
You're inside the peripheral.
Chloe Grace Moretz plays Flynn, who discovers the virtual reality future she goes to might actually be real.
I thought I was playing a sim.
It turns out if you prick us, we bleed.
The Peripheral is streaming on Amazon Prime now.
In Italy, we have a saying, in dreams, as in love, all is possible.
And newly streaming on Netflix is the series From Scratch.
I came here to experience art, to try things I may never get to again in my life.
Zoe Saldana stars in the romantic drama about an artist falling in love with a chef in Italy.
Let's keep our eyes on the good things and the good food. I think we can be something great.
From Scratch is streaming on Netflix now. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for Weekend Mornings.
Well, coming up next this morning, the fallout after Donald Trump was formally subpoenaed.
The price of gold is at a 7-year high. Get top cash on the spot for your gold at Diamond Select. Cash in today while the price of gold is high. Don't miss out. Get instant cash for your gold today at Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
I'll never forget January 6th, watching my fellow law enforcement officers defending the Capitol, defending our freedoms, defending democracy, and then 5 officers died. But Ron Johnson is making excuses for rioters who tried to overthrow our government, even calling them peaceful protests. Johnson defended Donald Trump's lies and even supported efforts to make it harder for some people to vote at all. Senator Johnson's just not for us.
And Citizens United is responsible for the content of this ad.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original windows. Boom.
There's no need to be afraid of old windows. Call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no money down and no interest until 2024.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Wow, this is where you work now?
Figured I deserved a more inspiring space. And with home values being up, I had a lot of equity. So I got a home equity line of credit from Summit, and voila, added a home office.
Took your business to the next level.
Hey, you two have been in your place for a couple years now. Any fun plans?
Well, we just finished a refi with Summit.
Really?
And the plan is to make a bunch of great memories.
We're gonna use the savings to get a camper. Whatever your goals, Summit Credit Union can help you use your home's equity to go get them.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member. Oh yes, certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoo
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo! Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4imprint, for certain.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
From a diamond engagement to a diamond anniversary and everything in between, we shop the diamond capitals of the world so you don't have to. At Diamond Select, we also fix, reset, and remake jewelry too. Diamond Select in downtown Stoughton.
Right now, Donald Trump has been formally subpoenaed. How this impacts the January 6th investigation. And loan relief temporarily halted. What this means if you've already applied for the student loan help.
And some areas are waking up to southerly winds while others are more easterly. Everyone, though, will see the winds increase from the south today and even tomorrow. I'll break down how strong they'll get today and tomorrow and when we'll get rid of these windy conditions.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on Weekend Mornings on this beautiful Saturday morning. It is October 22nd. Greg, it's October, late October, and we're seeing numbers that could get in the 70s today. How about that?
Yeah, it's about 20 degrees above average, and so all due to these winds out of the south that's beginning to pull up this warm air. But this morning we do have a little bit of a contrast between southern Wisconsin, you go up to central Wisconsin, even eastern Minnesota too. That wind shift has allowed temperatures up to the north to cool down a little bit more overnight, while areas to the south, we've been remaining in the 50s and the upper 40s. So you can see that difference, but that's not going to be much of an issue as we go later on because the winds are all going to start turning around back to the south. So yesterday we had 81 in Lone Rock, upper 70s. That's going to be a similar story today. We're going to see temperatures up in the upper 70s near 80. Some areas will get above the 80-degree mark. Once again, about 20 degrees above where we should be. 53 right now in Madison, south wind at 9. The winds will pick up this afternoon. We'll get up into the mid-70s by 2 p.m. Similar story to La Crosse, although they're starting off colder just because of that wind direction. It's 38 degrees, but that wind will turn around once again too, and we'll see temperatures once again climb up to the mid to upper 70s with winds out of the south-southeast getting up to 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's the system out to the west. It's going to become our way. Ahead of it, warm air, windy conditions is what we're going to see, but eventually we will see some of that precipitation get here. I'll break down when we'll see that a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Looking forward to that. Well, President Trump has now been formally subpoenaed to testify before the January 6th committee. The request was delivered in writing yesterday, the same day that Trump ally Steve Bannon was sentenced to prison for defying a subpoena from the same committee. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more.
The clerk will report the vote.
A week after they voted to subpoena a former president, the January 6th committee's request is now official. They say former President Trump must testify either in person or via video conference beginning in mid-November. And they're requesting documents from the man they argue played a central role in trying to subvert an election and triggering the assault on the Capitol. Committee member Pete Aguilar says the former president could testify in a live hearing.
We're going to be prepared if the former president decides to come, and if he puts restrictions on it for live testimony, we're going to be prepared for that eventuality.
The committee delivered the subpoena in writing, asking Trump for all his communications by phone, text, or messaging app Signal on January 6th, and any information referring to the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, or other militia groups. In a statement, Trump's attorneys accused the committee of flouting norms by publicly releasing a copy of its subpoena.
We're in uncharted waters. Not so much because he's an ex-president, I think, but because he is still such a politically significant figure.
The request came as Trump's longtime ally and advisor Steve Bannon faced punishment for defying his own subpoena from the committee. A judge sentenced him to 4 months in prison.
I've got a great legal team, and there'll be multiple areas of appeal.
The judge said Bannon can remain free while that appeals process moves forward. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Former and current presidents have been subpoenaed and testified before Congress in the past. It's not clear what would happen if former President Trump defies his subpoena. He could fight it in court, he could ignore it, or simply try to delay until the end of the year because the committee is only authorized through the current Congress, which ends in January. Now to a pretty stunning scene playing out in Chile. Almost something out of a movie here. A store robbery ended in a police car chase and money was raining down on a highway. You can see the suspects throwing bags of cash out the window, causing dozens of bills to cover the road. The money was eventually picked up by the police and 6 suspects were later arrested. To some medical news this morning, hospitals across the country are reporting a growing number of cases of RSV. It sends nearly 60,000 kids to the hospital every year and can be fatal. The American Lung Association has launched a new awareness campaign to help parents watch for warning signs like cold symptoms, trouble breathing, or a wheezing cough. Floridians are still recovering from Hurricane Ian, and standing water from the storm may now be a breeding ground for a dangerous microbe called Vibrio vulnificus. It's often called flesh-eating bacteria, and the state health department says it's seen twice as many cases this year compared to 2021. Symptoms include fever and chills, a drop in blood pressure, and blisters on the skin. The CDC says 1 in 5 cases is fatal. The CDC is also urging people to get the new bivalent COVID booster shot after new data shows even 3 doses of the older vaccine can lose their effectiveness in preventing hospitalization. A new study found in late June 3 doses of the vaccine were only 31% effective, down from 69% last December. The bivalent booster can help protect against new strains of the coronavirus. An appeals court has temporarily halted the disbursement of funds in President Biden's student relief program, but the program is still up and running and taking applications. The stay comes as the president touted the program and his administration's accomplishments ahead of the November 8th midterm elections. Deborah Alfarone has more details from the White House.
The 8th Circuit Court of Appeals has temporarily issued a stay of President Biden's student debt forgiveness program, which temporarily stops the government from discharging student loan debt. The emergency motion was brought by the attorney generals in Missouri and Nebraska, who claim the forgiveness will temporarily harm the state's loan programs. The ruling comes as President Biden touted his administration's student debt relief plan at Delaware State University, a historically black university in his home state.
Our student loan plan lowers costs for Americans as they recover from the pandemic to give everybody a little more breathing room.
Applications are already pouring in by the millions as Americans race to sign up for student loan forgiveness. 40 million Americans may be eligible to have $10,000 to $20,000 in federal student loan debt wiped clear.
Not a dime will go to the top 5% of incomes, period. It goes to people who really need it.
Forgiving student loan debt will cost the nation roughly $400 billion over the life of the program. Republicans are using that price tag to bash Biden and Democrats on the campaign trail.
We need to stop spending money that we don't have. The runaway spending is one of the reasons why we have inflation.
There are more legal challenges to the president's order still making their way through the courts. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
Late Friday, the White House issued a statement saying, in part, that the temporary order does not prevent borrowers from applying for student debt relief at studentaid.gov. It also says the temporary order does not prevent the government from reviewing these applications and preparing them for transmission to loan servicers. Well, still ahead this morning, one of the biggest car shows makes a splashy return.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message. This fall into comfort with an affordable living room from Bob's Discount Furniture, like my Avenger Power Collection. Get the Power Reclining Sofa or the Power Reclining Console Love Seat in black or gray for my everyday low price of $9.99, with many financing options available. You'll love the convenient USB ports, cup holders, and storage space galore. With savings this great, the whole family can relax at the touch of a button. Bob's Discount Furniture. Fall into comfort. Ooh, nice.
Get Bob's Discount!
Have you ever experienced this view? Hi, Andrew Larson here. With Gutter Shutter, you'll never have to experience it again. Please give up this dangerous chore and protect your home's foundation with Gutter Shutter, the strongest, most durable, maintenance-free gutter on the market. Over the past 15 years, my team has installed thousands of maintenance-free gutter systems across South Central Wisconsin. We'd love to come out and show you what Gutter Shutter can do for you and your home, but most importantly, keep you safe and off that ladder. So call today for a free estimate.
Quality, longevity, selection. These words have been synonymous with the Surgenians and Karastan brands for over 90 years. Save up to 20% on Karastan carpets this month with special financing and rebates. Local, sustainable, Surgenians.
7-day-old tuna casserole.
How'd you know that?
Even my nose is strong. You need Hefty Ultra Strong. It has Arm & Hammer, continuous odor control. Hefty, Hefty, Hefty. Oh, and Toby needs a bath. Stay one step ahead of Stinky.
It was Halloween. My daughter stopped at 3 homes. Her girlfriend's house, her teacher's house, and the man that murdered her. He molested her and he put her in a garbage bag. He was going to be released in 2018. Josh called. He was not there for me at all. You want some help to find out what's going on, and he doesn't help. He don't care about the victims. I know Eric Toney does. Eric Toney helped keep that man that murdered my daughter from being released. Eric Toney's always been there for me, and that's the kind of attorney general we need.
A new house with superpowers.
It looks normal. It just uses less energy and will save money down the road.
Susan Simon shows you a first-of-its-kind home construction in our area. Find out what makes it special for the homeowners and our environment. Monday at 10. News 3 Now brought you the only debate between Governor Tony Evers and challenger Tim Michels, focusing on the important issues facing Wisconsin and our nation. Committed to giving you a clear and objective view of campaign 2022. News 3 Now, your local election headquarters.
Yeah, temperatures overall, we kind of got a little bit of a contrast between up north and what's down south too, with the 50s down here and more upper 30s just because of that wind shift. But the winds are starting to pull more south all the way up. So that'll be just temporary, because today we're still going to climb into the upper 70s to near 80 for all locations. The Badger game looks very mild for the end of October, upper 70s. The breeze, the winds will kick up, but otherwise it's going to be a real nice day. If you're getting tired of those leaves, you might want to do it today. Otherwise, they're going to be blowing around quite a bit tomorrow. Probably not even worth the Monday trying to take care of that. Otherwise, planning your day, we're looking at the upper 70s by the time we get to the afternoon for La Crosse. Winds will pick up once again too. The south 10 to 15, up to 20. Same story for Madison, upper 70s by this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, but the winds once again will increase out of the south, so it'll be 10 to 20. So that's what the things we'll see with. The next rain chance comes Sunday into Monday, and then Monday and Tuesday, but definitely enjoy this really nice, warm weekend.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, the Paris Motor Show is one of the most important car shows where many companies roll out their latest and greatest. Automakers are gathering in the French capital for the first time in 4 years, and it's all about one thing: electricity. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
With flash and flare, the future of driving is on display. From what will hit the road soon to the maybe someday. At this year's Paris Motor Show, tomorrow's cars are electric. Summed up in a few words,
the world, as you say, is changing rapidly.
To stay ahead of the competition, automakers are driving more battery-powered cars into the mainstream, like the new Jeep Avenger, a fully electric SUV. Steering the industry to a greener road is an EU regulation requiring all new vehicles to be emissions-free by 2035. French President Emmanuel Macron praised the shift after jumping behind the wheel, saying how it's helping the country achieve its climate goals. But electric cars can be expensive. So French company Renault designed one for sharing.
So for most people, it's easier to manage a budget if you just use the mobility means at the time you need for the specific needs you have at that period of time.
But it's not all about electrifying the future. Some companies are switching to a different kind of gas. Newcomer Namex sees hydrogen powering autos. One more option on the road into tomorrow. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
This year's show also highlighted another sign of our times by what wasn't on display. Some noticeable big hitters like Porsche, Audi, and Volkswagen stayed home to save money. Well, still ahead this morning, the Badgers are getting ready for their homecoming game against Purdue. A look ahead to today's matchup. And you're taking a live look at the Capitol. Greg's tracking those nice warm temps when we get back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes. Certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow. I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota Trucks.
Right now, get 2.49% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead cost.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
When I heard from my doctor, it was my worst nightmare. My baby's diagnosis was dismal, a severe abnormality, and my husband and I decided to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Tim Michaels thinks that decision should have been his, not ours. He wants to criminalize abortion. And if he's elected, women will lose the freedom to decide what's best for them. Tim Michaels is just way too radical for Wisconsin.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, definitely a nice weekend probably to get out to see the leaves, at least while they still remain. A lot of places up north have probably peaked, but areas to the south here, we still got leaves on, but definitely the winds will take care of that. So if you want to get out there, probably the last weekend to see a good fall color till we see next year. Overall, the pattern has changed with more southerly winds, aloft. Last weekend and earlier this week were more north, so that allowed the cold air to come down. We've kind of switched that because now there's a system out west that's digging south. In front of that, that's pulling up warmer air and southerly winds too. That's what's going to go on through Sunday into Monday before we finally get that system to come eastward. It's going to take its time. But one big difference between last week and this week is last week we had the cold air come down. This time it's lifting more north. So although we'll cool down and get some precipitation from it, we're not going to be as cold, more back to where we should be for like about the mid-50s for the rest of this week. So overall not bad, but that's definitely won't be the 70s like we're going to see today because of that southerly winds will keep going on through today, through tomorrow as they actually increase because that system will begin to approach. So not much change. We'll see some cloud cover, some moisture. The first chance for thunderstorms is going to come probably late Sunday afternoon, and that's going to pull northeast towards Sunday night. Not a large area of coverage there, but that will be the first opportunity to see thunderstorms. We have a next wave that develops along the front. That's more Monday afternoon to Monday night. As that stretches more north, that's the thing to look for. So today, upper 70s, 80s with the winds all picking up from the south. Tonight, we're not going to really cool off much with the winds. Low 60s, so it'll be above 60 for most areas. Tomorrow, once again, winds pick up even more, so we're like 15 to 25 miles per hour. Temperatures, once again, 70s again, so a good day. More cloud cover, a little bit more moisture starts pushing in, and Sunday night, that's when we start seeing a few showers come through. But right now, it's a more spotty coverage. There is some potential for some severe thunderstorms well west, but that's more Sunday. We'll see probably some leftover thunderstorms as it inches further to La Crosse, and then obviously over Wisconsin later in tonight. Precipitation-wise, we have 2 waves. That's Monday coming through. We showed that. That kind of pushes east, it stalls, and then we have another wave that comes up that might give at least south central, southeastern another opportunity to get rain Tuesday into Wednesday. So there's 2 opportunities to see that. Otherwise, La Crosse probably will miss out on some of that going on. So if we look at the 10-day right now for most areas, once we get past Sunday, we get up into the upper 70s in certain areas. We're going to cool back into the mid to upper 50s. Rain chances, La Crosse won't probably see that Wednesday system as much. And then we actually modify, and we're pretty good through the end of next week into Halloween. Same story for Madison. Probably a better opportunity for Tuesday into Wednesday to see the rain once again. And then we'll be modifying. Like I said, mid-50s is about where we should be this time of year. So it's not a really big cool down, but when you're in the 70s, you go to 50s, that's a cool down.
You feel it.
You feel it.
Just like we felt, I mean, it was 30 degrees the other day, and now we're talking maybe hitting the 80s today.
Maybe. Like I said, it's fall.
And it's Wisconsin.
And yes.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, once again, it is homecoming at UW. I'm sure many of you have plans, and the Badger defense gets to celebrate by trying to stop one of the best passing attacks in the Big Ten. In conference games, the Boilermakers lead the league in passing yards. Quarterback Aiden O'Connell is averaging just under 330 yards per game, and his go-to receiver, Charlie Jones, has 9 touchdowns on the season. Purdue is coming off a 600-yard, 43-point performance, and they're coming to Madison humming on offense.
I think at this point of the season right now, they feel like they have everything rolling. They're using their personnel well, mixing and matching, different groupings, and you're seeing, pretty impressive numbers.
It's a battle every time we play these guys. They're a good team. I think they have great weapons on offense. They're very well coached. They're disciplined. They play hard. So, I mean, it's like any other Big Ten game match.
All right, kickoff set for 2:30 this afternoon. Well, coming up next, turning garbage into art. Yes, that's for real. We've got that story coming up next.
Looking at mattresses?
I'm just looking.
Jump on it, roll on it.
No.
Just pretend I'm not here. You have any questions?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable.
She seemed nice.
That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Slumberland. Mattress shopping reinvented.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson.
I'm Sheriff Eric Severson.
We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over 600 grand of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Helpful hints for you from Meineke. It's important to monitor the tread level and tire pressure on your car's tires. Don't wait until it's too late. Stop into Meineke and get your tires inspected today. If you need new tires, we have a special offer for you. Get free mounting and balancing of 4 new General or Continental brand tires with purchase of our complete tire installation package. That's a savings of almost $100. Our tire installation package includes mounting and balancing, road hazard, tire disposal, and wheel alignment. Set up your appointment at Meineke.com today.
Jurassic Quest is back and bigger than ever. Celebrate Halloween weekend at Jurassic Quest. Come dressed in your favorite costume for a chance to win a prize. And join us for Trick or Treat, starting October 28th in Madison. Buy tickets in advance for best selection at JurassicQuest.com.
Remember this? Forecasts are predicting an unreasonably cold and snowy winter. Now's the time to winterproof your home with USA Insulation. 35% more efficient than traditional insulation. Our foam in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
I'm a Vegas hotel.
I know what you're thinking. It's cool. I don't want anything long-term either. Just a few nights of fun. I'm looking for someone who will let loose, dress up a little, see a show, order the steak and the lobster. Some people say I'm excessive, but who cares? I just want to enjoy some late nights and some very late checkouts. Think you can keep up?
Right now at Slumberland Furniture, you'll get 30% off all living room furniture. Yup, sofas, sectionals, tables, recliners, and more. All 30% off. Plus 30% off select mattresses and 20% off everything else. On now at Slumberland Furniture.
Mission Unstoppable, Saturday morning at 9.
Finally this morning, you know what they say. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, now, pieces plucked during a public litter pickup just might make the next Mona Lisa or David of Michelangelo. Hannah Scholl has more.
Well, Lower Scissortail Park is getting a new addition, and it's actually made completely out of trash.
I've been making art out of trash almost my whole life.
Gabriel Friedman is the local artist behind the newest sculpture at Scissortail Park. The piece is a collaboration with OKC Beautiful that communicates the harms of litter and single-use materials.
My first thought was trash is a big monster, and I've always wanted to make a big monster.
The trash the piece is made of has come from every place imaginable. The side of the highway, the middle of the road, along rivers and parks, garages, and backyards.
I had the idea to have just the head. I like the idea that it's like the tip of the iceberg. Like there's more to be seen. He will grow the more trash that he consumes or that we consume.
There will be a community event to celebrate the installation of Friedman's sculpture on Saturday from noon till 2.
We're really excited to see his creativity come to life, and we encourage everyone to come out and see it on Saturday.
Arts and environmental organizations will gather to share activities and environmental education. There will also be a costume contest, ribbon cutting, and more.
And prior to the community event, there will actually be a public litter pickup, and some of those pieces of trash will be publicly installed onto this art piece at the event. In Oklahoma City, Hannah Scholl, Oklahoma Zone, News 9.
How resourceful, right? Picking up trash from the side of the road, making it into art. I mean, it's better than leaving it on the side of the road.
Yeah,
At
true.
least it's something fun to go look at, right? All right, Greg, before we leave, how about one more check of the weather?
Well, some of that trash might be blowing around here as the wind starts picking up a little bit more today. But overall for Madison, upper 70s. Once again, 20 degrees above average. Going to be a warm day out there for some. Same story for La Crosse. They could reach almost 80, 78 with south winds also 10 to 15 and getting above 15 to 20. So those winds will increase even tomorrow, probably 15 to 25 as that storm system gets closer. So once again, mild conditions even through Monday should be 70s. Winds will pick up through Monday. The storm chances Sunday into Monday. Looks like the best shot for everyone probably is going to be Monday afternoon to Tuesday morning. But then south central, southeastern Wisconsin get another round, maybe Tuesday night into Wednesday. So there's two opportunities there to get some precipitation that a lot of people could actually use because we have had some drought issues going on. So that's definitely good news.
So we've got warmer temps today, but we're kind of getting back next week. More seasonal temps.
More back to where you should be, 55. You know, it's about average. So, and they came out with the winter outlook too. So if you're interested in that, and typically that means we're looking at December, January, February timeframe. Looks like La Nina is once again in control. The third year probably we're going to see La Nina conditions. They tend to be drier and colder, at least up here. You get towards Ohio, Indiana, there's more tends to be wet there. But this is the third one in a row, and it's rare. I think we've only had 3 cases, so there's not much to go off.
So you're saying maybe less snow this winter, Greg?
Well, it could be another drought going on, but you know, I can guarantee it's going to be cold. We'll have some snow.
Well, we are in Wisconsin. I don't know how much that's really saying. How about Halloween? What can the folks expect for Halloween?
I think Halloween still looks cloudy conditions. There is a system coming nearby. We'll just see if it actually tends to stay south or come north. But for right now, it doesn't look to be anything significant. But temperatures mid-50s, which is pretty much where you should be for October.
I mean, there's been some times where the Halloween forecast, man, it just ruins the mood when you're out, you're in your costume, and then you're getting poured on or snowed. So hopefully it's dry, comfortable for the kids out there.
Yeah, a lot of times in the Midwest, you get that nice, cold, 30-degree rain where it's just miserable to be outside.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I understand. But no, right now it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
No, it doesn't. Well, hey, it's warm today. Get out, enjoy. If you're celebrating homecoming, enjoy that as well. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. We'll see you back here tomorrow.